when I saw the article about Netanyahu wanting Jews to move to Israel, I kind of, let me put it this way, I would have laughed, except, for lack of a better term, it's just not funny. It's sad because Netanyahu really doesn't believe that. If he believed that, he wouldn't be giving so much power to the Haledim, and a lot of non-Haledi Jews can't get into Israel because, one, they're not counted as Jews under the law of return, especially with the way that Agudat Yisrael has interpreted it. Number two, if you don't exactly fit their definition of what having a Jewish mother is, then even then you're not counted as Jewish. And it says here, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu tells French Jews this evening after 4 Jewish men were killed in a kosher market yesterday and others held hostage at Israel as their home. To all the Jews of France and all the Jews of Europe, I would like to say Israel is not just the place in whose direction you pray. The state of Israel is your home. Well, here's my question. Then why is it Lapid who affected many Russian Jews to leave, and why were those same Russian Jews told, well, you're not Jews or you're not Jewish enough? Now, this is the person, in terms of wanting Jews home, that I believe. I thought they said on the headline that it was Lapid who said something, but okay, Moshe Ya'alon is saying it too. Let's see. He says the Jewish community, not just in France, and they added in brackets there, also in Belgium and other places, Sweden, is under an attack, a combined Islamist anti-Semitic attack. We knew that if radical Islam raised its head in Europe, the Jews would be the first to be harmed. The safest place for Jews is in the national home of Jews, and I believe that Defense Minister Moshe Ya'alon is also of Lapid, so, Likud, still getting that. Anyway, this is a person that I believe, though, if I can find what he said. I know that they said in the headline that Lapid said that Jews need to come home, and that's what I'm believing, because Lapid, I remember when he got into so much trouble for working on Shabbat, and he felt like, okay, hey, I apologize for working on Shabbat because I offended others, even though I'm not personally sorry for working on Shabbat. And after all, Israel is supposed to be a state with freedom of religion, but apparently it's not, because then, if Netanyahu wants to work on Shabbat and he's not harming anyone or if he's not harming himself or anyone else, then why should he be so condemned? And not only that, but, I'm trying to find the thing about Lapid. I think I'm going to, because they did say in the headline that he said it. Lapid urges French Jews to immigrate to Israel. Okay, so they did it in a different article. Let's see. Lapid, I'll do everything to ensure that Netanyahu won't be PM. Okay, Yesh Atid leader, son of a Holocaust survivor, says European Jewry must realize that the Jewish state is their only true home. And Yair Lapid, like that. I'm still working on pronunciations and stuff too. Anyway, so, and I would imagine that Yair Lapid feels more of a connection with Jews who aren't necessarily considered Jews, because one of the victims in the French attacks this week was a Holocaust survivor named Georges Volinsky, and he had been in French Tunisia during the Holocaust, and French Tunisia was, of course, part of Vichy France, and when the Nazis invaded the Middle East, every Jew was affected there. So, anyway, so Lapid is going to make sure that, obviously the Jewish state is defended. And then he also said, quote unquote, terrorism and racism must be dealt with firmly and without compromise. This realization is now reaching Europeans, and far as, I assume he's also, in some implicit way, saying that this realization is also reaching those who don't treat Mizrahim well, who don't treat the Lemba well, who don't treat other Jews well. And of course we know that Ashkenazi Jews are Jews, but then why do we act like those who hate us, quite frankly, and want to call us all these anti-Semitic names and all that, and why are we just as bad to the Lemba and to the Mizrahim and to others if we didn't want the Brits and the French and the Germans and whoever else being as bad to us as we've been in groups like the Lemba? So anyway, well, there's that. And also, here's another thing too, like, people continue to insist that Obama is Muslim. Trust me, as I said before, I wished, okay? Because being self-identifying as a radical Muslim or an Orthodox Muslim or whatever he wants to call himself would be much tamer than being a black so-called Hebrew, which is what he is. As I said before, all you gotta do is read the Black Value System, or at least watch the clips they were showing in Jeremiah Wright preaching the awful stuff, and you'll get the picture quick.